Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
As a matter of fact, Rob, I'm going to give you the 10 Commandments of logic. I put this on my page.
I think I was looking at it. I was trying to go ahead and catch up to it, man. I was trying to check it out. Go ahead and give them to him.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to him. The 10 Commandments of logic. And this, if you go by this, you'll be all right. Number 1, thou shalt not attack the person's character, but the argument. That's called an ad hominem. Mm-hmm. Number 2, thou shalt not misrepresent or exaggerate a person's argument in order to make it easier to attack. That's what they call a straw man fallacy. I get that one probably at a 90% ratio. 90% of the people who come at, 95 probably, who come at me is coming at me with a straw man fallacy. They making up my position and then tearing it down instead of actually listening to what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Number 3, thou shalt not use small numbers to represent the all. That's what they call a hasty generalization. You know, we get a lot of this in the so-called conscious community, like where they say 1 in 4 black men is in jail, you know, which is actually mathematically impossible. There's only 2 million people in jail in the United States, and there's 44 million black folks. So do the math, you know. Number 4, thou shalt not argue thy position by assuming one of its premises is true. That's called begging the question.
Say that again?
Number 5. Number 4?
Yeah.
Thou shalt not argue thy position by assuming one of its premises is true. That's what they call begging the question. Number 5, thou shalt not claim that because something occurred before, it must be the cause. That's what they call post hoc false cause. Number 6, thou shalt not reduce the argument down to 2 possibilities. That's what they call a false dichotomy. That happens a lot too. Number 7, thou shalt not argue that because of our ignorance, a claim must be true or false. Ad ignorantum, that's what they call it. An example of that is when people, when people are asked to prove that there's a God, they say, well, can you prove there isn't a God? Well, there must be one. It's like, come on, man. You know. Number 8, thou shalt not lay the burden of proof onto him that is questioning the claim. Perfect example of what I'm talking about. That's the burden of proof reversal. 9, thou shalt not assume this follows that when there is no logical connection. That's what they call a non sequitur. And finally, number 10, thou shalt not argue that because a premise is popular, therefore it must be true. That's the bandwagon fallacy. Mm. So if you don't violate those 10 commandments of logic, then you usually have a really strong argument, you know?